International Marketplace, up here in the treehouse. Yeah, so I kind of screwed up, but I caught myself. I've told the story a couple of times about when we had the incoming missile alert here. I think it was 2018, and at the time, like, I was like, oh shit, you know. Went into the bathroom to get behind the under pressure door. At the time, my emotions were overriding my critical thinking skills. So I wasn't thinking to myself, A, there are no nuclear weapons. B, you know, why would they attack an island? And C or D or whatever letter we're on, it would make no sense for them to make a strike against Hawaii and then have the rest of the U.S. there to fire back at it. It made no sense. But when you're in the moment and your emotions are submerging your critical thinking, you know, you could fall into that trap. Well, I did with the Maui thing because, you know, I'm so mad about it. Seeing the beast do his thing, you know, right in my face, pretty much, or close enough. Yeah, there's this guy that I featured his videos, and talked about him and retweeted some of his stuff. Now, this is all speculation, of course, but it's based on past experience and, you know, what I've come to learn over time about how these things work. There is this guy, he's like the Hawaii realtor. He is reporting from Maui some of the stuff that's going on over there, as far as burnt out cars with all living vegetation around it, just like anomalies like that, like, you know, the way a DEW actually would destroy stuff, a microwave laser. The plastic trash cans for the garbage are fine because it's plastic, it's not gonna burn. Just like you put plastic in your microwave, it's fine, but if you put a fork in there with it, the fork's gonna explode. So all the metal is all fucked up, but, you know. So he's doing a lot of great videos highlighting this thing, how this is going. And he set up a page where you can give your support. And the idea is to go there and sign up, give your information, and tell them what it is you do or what you can offer for resources and or services to help them in this group they're forming to do something nebulous for Maui. Now, I was behind him like, great, this is nice, you know, his stuff looks good, you know, whatever. He's really showing people what's happening over there. And he's like the only one doing it. But anyway, critical thinking is submerged. So I go to his site, and as soon as I got there, it just kind of hit me. It's like, oh, wait a minute, wait. He wants you to sign up here, give your information, what you can do, what you have to offer. Basically, what you're doing is you are registering yourself as an enemy combatant against the state. By doing this, what you're saying is, I'm opposed to what my government is doing, and I'm putting it in writing that I want to combat this, and I can offer these services or these goods or whatever resources to help in this fight. See, what they do is they knew there was going to be some kind of investigation here, you know, based on just how things have been going. A lot more people are seeing things, the thinning of the veil, you know, and this is identical to California, which it didn't really blow up in their face, but there's a lot of people online that do see what happened when you burn only sections of a street or sectioned off areas that burn, everything else is fine. So they knew that there would be something like that. So what they do is they get their own guy, and again, this is just speculation based on, you know, past experience, and they position their own guy out front And he's the one that controls the opposition to it. But control opposition. He controls the opposing group. And I noticed he was getting a lot of views. He was getting around quite a bit as far as exposure. He'd only been doing YouTube, I guess, like a month or something. He was a realtor, blah, blah, blah. This came out of nowhere. Then today I saw him on Jimmy Dory, them highlighting his video with Kurt from the Kyle Dunnigan show. He's he's a pseudo-celebrity comedian, but this is mainstream. Like, this is more of a mainstream conservative type of thing. Like, it's almost like a Tim Pool or something like that. Jimmy Dory. Now, they control everything as far as media. You know, Satan controls the air, controls the media. Well, I mean, it's supposed to be man controls the earth, Satan controls the air, God has the heavens. But in this particular training module, I think Satan has full spectrum dominance at this point. But anyway, if they didn't want you to see this, right, you wouldn't be seeing it. You know, they're not letting journalists into that area. They're not letting independent journalists into the area. This is the only guy that has the quality that he has. It looks really good, and the quality of information. And he's able to tag his videos with very provocative words that I wouldn't even think of putting in mine, or most people wouldn't either. So he's out there showing you some of what's going on, because these guys don't, what their job is really is to keep you from following the road to the real culprits and the real bad stuff. What these controlled op guys do is they'll take you on a side road. They'll show you some truth because they have to. They have to create the frequency of truth in your mind so that when they slip the bullshit in there, you kind of take it all as one thing. Like, oh, wow, this is, he's showing me what's going on, man. This guy's really... And I fell right for it. You know, like I've often said that I'm still in the Matrix. You know, it's spent most of my life there. I'm not going to go into the climbing out the window analogy because I know it upsets Dave, but I'm still kind of in. So I can get sucked into these things sometimes too. I mean, I'm not infallible to this stuff. I'm still kind of in it, you know? So I was really behind this guy. You know, I've like I said, I've featured some of his videos in my videos, talked about them, linked to them, all this other shit, community posts. Going to his site though, it just like hit me like, oh, it's one of those. What they do is they get you to sign up. So you're basically doing threat assessment for the government against yourself. You know, well, this guy's a blacksmith. He has a ranch, so he must have some kind of money. He said he can offer his services. It's all right there. And then based on that, almost like a social credit score, you know, you're threat assessed. Now, the thing about collecting all this information is, I mean, there's just red flags everywhere. But I didn't see them because I was caught up in being angry about what was happening. But I mean, if you look at it in a sober light of day, it doesn't make any sense. It's like, you know, he's saying, you got to get, if anyone's a lawyer, we need lawyers, and I'm thinking, like, for what? Like, the way these things, usually you would think you get a plan first, right? We're going to sue X person for that. But he's not doing that. He just wants to collect as many people as he can who are willing to help, who can offer anything, even time, to sign up to this thing. You know, to sign this list to then tell, you know, the government that you've joined up with the army opposing them. You know, it's just, I've warned about this kind of stuff before, and said never sign up to anything, and I fell for it. But I stopped myself before I actually did anything dumb. But the thing is, and I know people will be like, well, how are you supposed to fight against this? You can't fight against the beast in this way. There is going to be no citizen group or citizen uprising or citizen rebellion, anything like that, that is ever going to work against the beast. I just said yesterday, we were talking about it, how you can't beat the beast. There is no beating him, especially not with aggression or force. You know, you're never going to get together. You know, if you have a militia in your neighborhood, you want to protect your family, that's fine. I'm not saying roll over for these guys. If they come, you know, if they come in to hurt you and yours, you fight till all you got left is a can opener, whatever. But as far as these groups to join, like these in a macro sense, opposing them, and then signing your name to it, making it all official, evil works and contracts, terms and conditions, they need you to do it to yourself. They need you to sign it yourself before they can do anything to you. You know, you can look at this stuff and be like, wow, you know, this guy, you know, from what I understand, it's not so much men are sitting around looking at this stuff. There's certain boxes that you check off. This amount of money, has a gun owner, has this kind of resources, lives out and has this kind of land. And then you put into a category of like danger, you know, threat assessment, what kind of threat you are against them. It's like a social credit score. That's how this stuff is done. That's how it's done with these conservative online gurus. Some of these guys are spiritual gurus or whatever who want you to sign up or something. You know, because I've heard about how these things work with some of those guys. You know, if you donate money, you get bumped up as far as, you know, threat assessment or however it works. You know, there's different levels to this shit. But basically, you're doing their job for them. You know, you're helping them out. You know, you don't want to do that. And, yeah, I jumped right into it because I wasn't thinking. But that's how they do these things. And again, this might not be what this is, but it has all the red flags associated with such a thing, and all it checks all the boxes in my mind for something like that. And it just, I mean, there's enough stuff that, you know, if I had to go through all the evidence, I could make a compelling argument. You just don't come into YouTube a month ago and then you're on the Jimmy Dore show, unless you're being promoted in some way. They control, yeah, going back to saying controlling the air, they control everything. If you're seeing it on a screen of any kind, it's because they're allowing you to see it. No one's sneaking anything by these fucking people. They own the fucking communication service, the communication of this world. So it's, you know, you're being allowed to see this. And, yeah, it's just collecting information on you, and depending on what you are, you could even be implicated in a crime of some kind if you're offering your services, and your services are something that could be perceived to be weaponized against them. You know, you're even more fucked. And there's no walking this stuff back. Like I said, there's no, like, group of guys going, you know, look, no one's going to call you up and you're going to have a chance to say, well, I only signed up because my neighbor signed up. No, you're in this thing, and it's like computerized at that point, like a credit score. And, you know, they see you signed up for this and you're offering your services as that. Yeah, I bet if I dug into this guy and this whole thing more, I could bring, you know, I'm sure there's a lot more stuff there. But I don't think that's really something I want to do. That's the definition of a horizontal pursuit, and I have no interest in that. There's other things I could be doing with my time. But I'm just letting you know, don't sign up for anything. Don't sign up for anything. We're not going to win that way. We're not going to win. And here's the tough bit. We're not going to beat the beast. You know, that's not our gig. We're not supposed to. This place is a bit like the Kobayashi Maru from Star Trek. It's an unwinnable situation. It's not about passing or failing or winning or losing. You're not so much, well, maybe judged. You're assessed on your behavior. You know, how do you handle it? We're here to endure. not to defeat Lucifer. Even though you are more powerful than him. You know, I went over the spiritual totem pole the other day. It's, you know, you got God at the top. Right under it is you. And then all down here is the angels and the demons and all these other interfrequency fucking goons and weirdos. Satan included. The reason you can't, even though you're more powerful than him and you can't beat him here, is because of the way this place is set up, the way he set it up. When it went from being a school to a loose farm. That's another video. That's like 10 other videos. But just so you know, don't sign up for anything. And I'm sorry if I led anybody over to that guy. You got to be careful in these times, you know. There's going to be a lot of guys like that try to do this type of thing, and they want to do it to you. So don't be an idiot like me and fall into it. And don't blame the teacher. Blame the school.